Ukulele with Mele, a place where we strum aloha, we learn through aloha, we have ohana all throughout the world. Today, and at this point, I want to talk about the history of the ukulele. And I want to learn, I want to, and I want to teach, the correct pronunciation of it. Now, if you have taken my class before, you can just skip ahead and go to the next one. However, if you have not, this is an extremely, extremely important video. So first things first, the pronunciation. So in Hawaiian vowels, it's a, e, I, o, and u, right? I know the Kiwis do the u, right? So if you are in Australia, that's totally fine as well. But if this is your first time learning these vowels, it's a, I, o, u. Very, very similar to Spanish or Italian, but it's a little different. They're a little bit more deeper, if that's an easier way. So you'll hear me, pronounce things. I try as appropriately as possible. My own alakai, he gets on me, which hopefully you will meet at some point. And so for ukulele, uku, repeat after me, uku, lele. Look in my mouth, uku, lele. One more time, uku, lele. So it's not lele and it's not yuku. It's uku, lele, ukulele. Now lele means to leap. It means to release. And again, kauna is in everything in Hawaiian culture and in Polynesian cultures throughout. And so if we look at what the actual meaning is, it is the literal meaning, I should say. It means jumping flee. Reason being is because when the Portuguese came over during the 1800s, there was a famine that was happening. So the Panama Canal did not exist back then. So I'm like, that was a long journey. And so they brought some instruments like the machete, the cavaquinho. There's another one. There are a couple of them. And when they brought these instruments, they played for them, of course, right? They played for the Hawaiians on the islands. And the Hawaiians loved the instruments. And they adopted it. And they restrung them differently. And that's when the ukulele was born. Now the ukulele, because it means jumping flee, they said that when their hands moved really fast, right, on the instrument, like this, it looked like jumping fleas. So they said it looked like jumping fleas, so they named it ukulele. However, one of the queens, she said that's not like the greatest. That wasn't the greatest meaning. So the kauna of that really can also mean the gift that was brought, right? So the gift that was brought to the Hawaiian Islands from the Portuguese in Portugal, and now widely known as the ukulele. Now the history of it, obviously, this came way after hula had started. So a lot of the hulas that you see now have an ukulele or a flat key guitar that is behind the music. But that's not right from the original time in the stories and the histories. But the ukulele is such a Hawaiian staple now. And people such as Jake Shimabukuro have made it very famous in a worldwide way. You had a Beatle, George Harrison, who absolutely loved the ukulele and thought that everybody should be playing it because it was such an accessible, joyful instrument. Now, learning the ukulele, you have many reasons of learning it, right? So sometimes people learn it because it can be it's like a gateway instrument into stringed instruments. However, for me, it's a cultural thing. It's something that just lives in my blood, and I absolutely love it. And it can be as easy or as hard as you'd like it to be. So, hopefully, that gives you a little bit more of the history and the pronunciation. So, no more ukulele, please. I beg of you. Even though if that's the way you say it, that's the way you say it. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person or worse person, but try with the culturally but try with culturally preserving it to pronouncing it as ukulele, the ukulele. So it's not a ukulele, it's an ukulele, the ukulele, my ukulele, right? And that is more of the history and the pronunciation behind. Strum aloha.